Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and thank you for watching this video. We're here playing FortressCraft Evolved. It's Season 1 and it's Episode 10. Now since the last episode I have done a couple of little bits. I've put an extra turret up there and I have built my first coal enricher and popped it in here. What the coal enricher does is it takes coal as an input and pops out this stuff, which is enriched coal, and that gives much greater energy per block per unit than standard coal. So that's going to be in use for our upstairs board cube, and I will almost certainly install one downstairs as soon as I actually manage to find another pristine gland to make it. Now the other thing that's happened is that we've completed the cold research, and have a look in here now. There's a few things that I want to check out still, including the laser resin ablator. Need to investigate those. But the suit heater Mark 1 is definitely what we need at this point, so we're going to take that. Don't think there's anything else I'm too bothered about right now. And we want to build one of those suit heaters. Suit heater Mark 1, craft that, and then we will install it into my suit upgrades. There we go, marvellous. That is going to allow me to head down below -200 safely. So we'll grab the resources available on the way down, and I will see you down at the bottom of the caves. Welcome back guys. I have now dug my way down, did a ping on air, found a cavern below me, did a lot of digging down and came out here at negative round about 250. As you can see, there is a lot of crystal down here. All these big columns are all crystal deposits, and that is absolutely perfect. I've found a couple of new things to scan. We're finding some emeralds. I found a ruby. I just need to remember where I parked. So I think I'm going to put a few more torches around the place. Another slime there. Yeah, I mean, this is absolutely huge. I'm guessing that this is a whole new layer. And that when you get down here, you know, it's easy to find caverns this size. But this is genuinely humongous. If I can catch that before it falls. There's a lot of chilled cavern stone down here. I can't do anything about this crystal, unfortunately, at the moment. I need to upgrade my build gun to be able to mine that. There do seem to be a reasonable number of slimes and mimic bots down here as well. But what I think I need to do is ping and see whether there's anything that I don't recognise. Unknown ore, 100%, 68 metres away. It's not really, and it's not showing me which direction it is. And I'm also conscious that I don't want to do too many pings, simply because that's going to drain my battery, and I do need that battery, because if it runs out, I'm snookered. I'm kind of going to leave the ruby and the emerald that I think are over there, because that is a good distance indicator to show me that my stairs up are over there. Yeah, I think that was Arthur just about running out of charge. So no more bonuses from him. I'm really just looking for new stuff that I've not seen before. Oh look, yet more downward stuff. Let's pop some more. Oops, that was interesting. Oh, if that's crystal, I may not be able to. Always helps if you actually put the right things on there. I don't know what I threw at that. Ah! It's a sign. Oops. Right, let's go and pick my signs up again. Right click. There we go. Yeah, we'll put the right thing up there. That's one of those mimics. So we're down at negative 281 now. Not sure what that is, but I think it actually looks like tin. Oh, it's iron. These things really do go down insanely far. Right, time to put some more torches up. Let's get this place lit up a bit. Wondering where the ruby is down there, but I mean, look at this. Such a long way down, but I don't really need to go down quite that far just yet. I'm on the lookout for my titanium or nickel ores. So what I really want to be doing is a few more scans, but as I say, I'm a bit wary because I really, you know, the last thing I want to do is actually run out of energy down here, because I will die in very, very short order. I'm going to cover up that hole. Apologies for the darkness, I'm trying to do something about this. It's copper. Now we've got a bit more of the organic rock. Always useful. And the problem is that I think I've now got lost as to where I should be heading back. I've been wandering around too much. And I haven't got a clue where I'm heading to now to try and get back up, but not to worry, we'll figure something out. Although my energy is getting low now, so let's have a... Okay, base is that way, and I wasn't a million miles away from the base, so let's see if we can spot those columns again. There they go, that's why I left them. Turn my light off and hope that I can get back with only 112 energy. I have a horrible suspicion that I'm going to die of hypothermia here. It's a long way back. What I really should have done was head back as soon as Arthur ran out of charge. Lights up here. Okay, where's base? There. 101 energy. Alright. But I do recognise, I think, where I am. Coming up here. That's the hard resin. Oops, come on. Up there, I see it. Don't know if that's my way out, but we will soon find out. Ooh, don't want to kill myself. Ouch. There we go. That's not the way out. It is the way to a diamond, but no, there's nothing up there. So, oh no, it must be the way out because those are my steps. There we go. Come up here. 67 energy remaining. And there we have it. Oh, made it. That was a little bit too close for comfort, but fun. So I'll go and scan my new scans. Get Arthur charging up. Unknown material, new plant, and ruby crystal, which can be made into lenses. So we've got diamond crystal, which gives 15%. And then we've got ruby, which increases speed by 50%. Now that's well worthwhile, I think. Excellent. Hello guys. During my downtime here, I have been thinking and planning, doing a little bit of research into what goes where, and it occurs to me that to make an efficient base, or a more efficient base that's better for expandability and so on, I am going to need to plan it out and rebuild it. One or two of the major facts that I've come across that have led me to this conclusion are that the power generators, the pyrothermal generators, only work at 100% down as far as 25 meters, and that the ore smelters only work at 100% down as far as 30 meters. Negative 25, negative 30 meters. So my plan is to gather sufficient raw materials to do the rebuild that I want, and I think what I will in fact do is extend from here, which is ground level, and extend this back probably as far as the ship there, the crashed ship, and join up with my flooring down there and make a floor level every 6 meters. There'll be 4 meters of space and then a 2 meter thick floor. Now obviously I'm also going to need a fair amount of rock, stone, so on for this. And to that end, I am going to do most of that work off camera. So what I'll do is I will get the raw materials. I'll make, I suspect, more Mark II batteries. I'm going to tear a lot of this down as well, because this will actually most of this in fact can stay where it is, but I'm going to, let's say, lay out the floors. First floor for power, second floor for smelting, third floor will be conveyors to get to the, to feed the smelters, and either on the third floor or possibly down on the fourth floor down, I'm going to make a mass storage system. So we'll see how that works out. Whilst I am here, however, I also wanted to just note that I've got the macerator up and running. I know I'd put it in before, but it wasn't doing what I thought it should. And so I just thought I'd point out that, yep, this filter isn't actually filtering anything at the moment, but the hopper there is taking output from the garbage thief, feeding it to the macerator, which crunches down any stone and occasionally comes up with ore, which it feeds into this hopper, which then feeds onto the same one as the ore thief, same conveyor belt as the ore thief, and feeds through into the smelter over here. And that then gives us odd little bits of output. And the other thing that I've built is the lift. Now, all you need to do for this is dig out a 3x3 area straight down from wherever you want the top level to be. Now, the lift will go up to 64 meters. So if you have the bottom level higher than 64, it's probably going to be easier to throw a roof on it like I have. Against the block on the very bottom level, you can put a controller. Let me just have a quick look and remind myself of what that is actually called. It's the lift manual control module. You pop that on the block at the bottom and it will allow you to control the lift manually. Now, the lift will automatically rise to match whatever level you as the player are on. So that, for example, if I run downstairs, you see that the lift's at the top there at the moment. If I go downstairs, you can hear it moving as I go. And it comes down to match whatever level I'm on. But then if I stand on the lift, I can press end to move down or home to move up. So I press end, and the longer you press it, the faster you'll move. So keep it pressed down and you'll see the current speed at the bottom left shoots up till I get to the top. Press and hold down, and I don't want to go that fast, so there we go. Okay, so I'll cut the video here for now and go and do some setting up of floors. Okay guys, I think finally I am ready to show the updated, upgraded, rebuilt base. There's still some stuff to do, of course. I've not replaced the batteries up here to Mark IIs, and there's still a lot of research to do, of course, but the infrastructure I'm a lot happier with now. As I said last time, I've got the macerator working, and what I'm doing is, rather than have the garbage thief take away the stone that I'm using to actually build stuff with, every time I pop up here and this is empty, I'm just popping in some of the chilled cavern stone or some of the deep stone, some of the bedrock that I don't want from those storage containers manually. I know it kind of defeats the object, but whilst I'm still in a building phase and a phase of using stone, I don't want to have it chewed up in the macerator. So, the lift. We will take the lift down to level 1, which is the power generator level. Now, this took me a while to work out, mostly because I've currently got 6 of these units, modules if you will, and I had to try and split up the single incoming coal line. As you can see, it's enriched coal coming in. It's actually splitting, or it will split into 8 eventually for even distribution, but it seems to be coping fine with the 6 that are being used at the moment. Now, the reason that the floor's patterned in a tessellated cross pattern is because each of these units is laid out in a cross shape. What you've got underneath is a cross shape of Mark II batteries, hopper in the middle, and a generator on each arm above. Coal comes in from the top, fed into the hopper, and then from the central battery underneath there's a laser emitter which is then transmitting the power down the line. Now, as you can see, or you may just have spotted there with the enriched coal, when a generator burns enriched coal, it chucks out green smoke instead of black smoke. It's just so you can tell which generator you're using enriched coal and which you're using standard coal. Now, each of these units is capable of generating 80 power per second. I've no way at the moment of transmitting that much, and so what I've done is I'm using this also as my main power generation for getting powering up these things that I can't remember the name of. The threat reducers. Thank you. And each of these units has 2 threat reducers on it, which is keeping the threat low because there is a lot of stuff around here now. So the power comes down for the most part directly down to a transmitter. These transmitters are then redirecting the power over to the smelters over there. The one that's blank there, that's actually a spare ready for my next ore. So nickel or probably titanium, in fact. The smelters, it's a similar setup to what I had, but as you can see, I now have a sizable mass storage system set up. Now, this is expandable. What happens is each mass storage block will hold 50 bars, but you can extend it vertically by pressing Q or E in this case. I've extended each of these up to 6 blocks. The higher you extend it, the more each block can store, so each of these blocks can now store 300 bars. However, it slows down depositing and withdrawing of the bars. So it's a trade-off, but I figure that at the moment the speed's not as important as just having all the storage available. If I want to withdraw bars, so let's say I want to take out 25 tin bars, you can see that it says at the bottom left that there is storage of 25 tin bars in this. All I simply do is right click with my build gun, take that away, and then replace it. And that's put those 25 tin bars into my inventory. I've got the laboratory set up again here. These are the storage containers for the pods. However, that might need a little bit of work because they're not sharing the pods between the 3 containers. So I'm going to have to look at this and think about how I can do it. Might make some changes there. Got 2 power cubes, and I'm probably going to do another 2 up the back. So 1 at ground level and 1 on top. In fact, these are being fed by coal line from there, which again, that is actually 2 ore extractors, so I've split it into 2 there, but I may further split it into 2 again, as I say, to feed a total of 4 power cubes going into the laboratory. And this power is heading down there and is being used for the pod assemblers. So another level down, and this is the conveyor level and the level for the pod assemblers. I've got the ores coming in and being redirected up to the smelters there. Then the smelters, or rather the mass storage, outputs the bars up here, and they are then fed down into the lines of stampers and extruders and so on to give me plates and PCBs for each of the copper, tin, iron and lithium. These are then fed by a slightly complicated system because again I ran into 1 or 2 problems with conveyor belts taking from the wrong hopper if they were adjacent to it, but they're fed through via the 3-to-1 zippers, so they've got the correct ratio of parts on the conveyor belts, which then go into these hoppers, and these hoppers feed into the research pod assemblers. They then feed into a hopper underneath, which again comes out into another conveyor. These are mergers which merge 2 conveyors into 1, and those 2 and those 2 are merged into 1, and then that one and that one are merged into 1 and fed up via a single line up to the hoppers in front of the laboratory. It all seems to be working at the moment. The only thing I haven't tested at all, and as I say, part of that's because the hoppers in front of the laboratory aren't sharing the research pods, so I may have to do some reorganisation of those. But let's just have a see and find out what... That just takes 10 experimental pods. That should be dead easy. So we'll start that going. And we'll see what happens. So it is, you can see the power on the cubes dropping. It is using, but it's saying that the laboratory itself is saying that the power available is optimal. So it's doing a good job, or they're doing a good job of keeping it going at the moment. And in fact for this one it's only used 10 basic pods, so there's probably not going to be anything feeding up from down here. Don't think it'll set this going yet, no. We'll try the next one and see what happens with that. There we go, all done. Collect research. Now, intermediate miner upgrade. That sounds like it might be an interesting one. What else is available? Advanced storage. What does that give? Oh, that requires refined liquid resin. Haven't done the refined resin thing. That's my next major infrastructure task. So we're stuck with intermediate miner upgrade. So let's start that one as well. I'm just going to pop some more of these in there. Now again, I think because of the stock I had of them, I'm not actually going to be able to double check that this is working yet. And I may in fact need to change these round so that possibly they don't feed in via one, but they feed in via 2 or 3 different, because that's also above there will also be one of the storage hoppers. There we go. So I may feed something in there as well. However, it's working, I'm happy, and we can move on to the next bit of research and go down to the caves at -250 and do a bit more exploring, see what else I can find. I'm still missing a titanium ore. I'm a bit stuck as to where to find it at the moment, but it's not something that I'm going to worry about. Collect that. We get intermediate intermediate miner upgrades. Let's set that going now and see how we. Yeah, see, it's not feeding things like these through into these 2 hoppers, so what I may do is actually remove that hopper entirely. I'll empty it first though, because I think that's the one that I left a hole underneath. In fact, let's check that. Yeah, as I thought, I need to replace that. Get rid of that, and we'll put that hopper down here, and then I'll think about how best to get everything operating. So I want to put in half of these. Let's call it 50, and half of those, which again 50. I'll put those in there, and there we go. Now what we are now a little bit short of, we've got basics, is the iron ones. So hang on. Now we've got no, we seem to be fairly well balanced with those. So I'm just going to pop in these to fill it up and get rid of everything else I've got on my inventory for now. Right, that'll do. Now you see, because I've been doing it fairly constantly, all of a sudden we got power available low because it has actually sucked both of those board cubes dry, and they will now have to do their best to power up, and that may be because there's no coal. Where's the coal gone? For some strange reason, now and again this thing runs out of coal, and I haven't worked out why yet, but oh no, it's got coal, so that thing again is not transferring coal from there. Which is a pain, because I think the coal enricher has to work hopper to hopper. But we'll have a look. We'll put a piece of yeah, you see, it's trying. That conveyor belt. Oh no, no, the conveyor belt does feed coal in. Okay. So that'll start working again. My bad. And here we go, they should start throwing out green smoke in a minute. Yeah, there we go. And as they all get fed with the coal, we're going to be producing I think 20, 40, 60, 80. I think these cubes produce 100 power per second each. That's 200 power per second between the two of them. As I say, once they all get the enriched coal. Because the difference is, as you can see, this one's generating 11 power per second, and this one's generating 21 power per second. And that's just down to whether they are consuming coal or enriched coal. So, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. We will return in episode 11 for some more shenanigans down the bottom of the cave and seeing what we've got up top at the research station that I might fancy researching next. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Remember, if you like what you see, press the like button, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Catch you next time.